Like, do you think
I've actually got a story that I can tell you just briefly, because there's not much to it.
Right.
I won't, but I have been recently trying to just clean out a whole bunch of, like, part of getting off social media means that
burying hard drives, burying evidence, like Ben Robert Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Burying things
Torching
in the backyard.
hard drives in my backyard.
No, it has given me so much extra time, and I've been taking some of that time to just get on top of my admin and life stuff. So some of it was, just boring stuff like taxes and, like passwords. I went through and sort of, redid some of my internet passwords because there's a lot of been hacking in Australia and stuff like that. And I discovered in my computer contacts list that every single contact that I've just ever had since I've basically had a phone or a computer is still stored in my contacts list. And so I've just been going through it and just deleting, like...
Sorry, I thought the story was going in a different direction. I thought it was going to be perfect cue for a flashback of you, like, reminiscing, not you playing God and erasing people like fucking the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind.
Well, a lot of it is genuinely... He's this club manager from this place that I played like 12 years ago that I needed to have their details for the weekend that I was in that place. But
a one-off.
Yeah. So I have been going, but you actually are getting to the right thing, which is I discovered the contact details of a girl that I went on a couple of dates with in Melbourne 25 years ago. And it was amazing to me that I even still had her contact details. I just wouldn't imagine that. I mean, this is how much the internet remembers, how much everything that you've ever like put on there is stored somewhere for someone to find. And I was the someone who found it. And so I was like, okay, well, I've got to do a little bit of Googling and see if I can find what this person is up to these days. Because they were a really lovely person. I had like a very brief but very lovely connection with them. Like, went on a couple of really nice dates, and or have always I've had moments in the rest of my life where I've always thought quite fondly of this person and wondered what they were up to. We lost contact almost immediately and didn't keep in touch. So it was amazing to me that I had any information at all. And in fact, if you'd asked me without me finding this contact to tell you what their last name was, it was quite a distinctive last name, and I would not have been able to remember it. I remembered that it was distinctive, but I wouldn't have been able to remember exactly what it was. But there it was. It popped up in my contacts, and I was like, oh, my God, that's definitely that person. And I thought, well, it is a very distinctive last name. So I wonder if I Google that last name, whether I can find this person. And it turns out that I could, partly because they work at the same company that they were working at 25 years ago when I met them. So they had just started out at that company, and now they've risen through the ranks to one of the top leadership positions in this company. So, and anyway, married and has different name now and all these sort of things. But to the point where I was able to find a YouTube instructional speech video, like women in leadership
cool.
thing that they had done. And just I didn't watch the whole thing because it was, it was women in leadership in their particular industry. And I wasn't trying to be creepy, but was actually able to go, oh, wow, look at this person and look what they've done with their life. And it was, it was quite amazing.
I get that. I haven't been to one of my high school reunions, but I'll definitely check out the photos that people have posted. I think there's a Facebook page for the last couple, and be like, oh, fuck yeah. And and there's some people that it surprises me. I introduced two friends of mine who hadn't met each other. I introduced them yesterday, and one of them texted me afterwards, Adam Zwar, and he said, oh, your mate Tim and I, we actually went to the same high school for a year, but we have absolutely no memory of each other. It was so weird. We're there same time, same year. We must have encountered each other, but we just can't remember. And then I started thinking about it and going, I reckon I could name 15 to 20 guys off the top of my head, and then I'd start to struggle. It would be just first names, probably more nicknames than actual names, And then after that, though, there would be at least, I had 250 guys in my year level. There would be a huge drop off. But I love that kind of reaching into the past and just sort of seeing where did that person end up? Or, not with any motive of maybe we can reconnect. It's just
that was it. No, I had no intention to make contact with this person. And also they've known where I have been very publicly for the last 25 years.
You're not hard to find.
If they wanted in any way to get in contact with me, they would have been able to do that. So I took that as them, obviously having moved on with their life and not wanting to do that. So I didn't think that there was any value in trying to reestablish contact in any way. No, and that wasn't my intention when I went looking in the first place.
Yeah.
It was curiosity. But yeah, I did enjoy it. I must admit, I was like, oh, look at you. The thing that I was really wrapped was, I was like, oh, you're at the same company. That just doesn't feel like something that anybody does these days, is like stay at the same company for 25 years.
Well, because there are no companies, there's WeWorks. Everyone's on independent contracts. There's no companies. There's people only incorporate to not pay tax, I believe. That's the only motivation.
Yeah, well, tax might be a clue to what sort of company it is that she was and it still is working at, but I will give no further details.
To see the full video, join our Patreon.
Patreon.com/Tofop.